However, when you get to the top, man, what a view.
Vamos a celebrar que ya llegó. The moment is now, vacílalo. Dale play y suscríbete, let's go. Voyage of the Santa Marias. Voyage of the Santa Marias. Voyage of the Santa Marias. Oh, 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 oh.
Good morning, Voyagers.
Good morning.
So we are currently in the town of San Pedro, located on the beautiful Lake Atitlan.
Yeah, so it took us about 3 hours to get here from Antigua.
Yeah, we had to just weave up and around the lake and then up and around the mountains to make our way here to San Pedro.
It was such a scenic ride once you start going down the mountain. However, you might already remember this, but I'm terrified of heights. And you'd go right close to the edge and you're like looking over and it's like, oh my God.
Yes.
But
we're here now.
yes, it's beautiful though, guys. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
So beautiful.
So we'll be here on the lake for the next roughly about 2.5 weeks. We're actually staying at this beautiful, amazing Airbnb, which is located a little bit outside of town, but we're on a hill, so we have some fantastic views.
Yeah. So I was just looking through Airbnb and found this place, and honestly, it's a gem. There's a couple of places on here that you can rent, from a glamping tent all the way to a casita. So you're on land where just about everything is grown here. So they're growing limes, oranges, passion fruit, maracuya, a lot of herbs, avocados, everything. And you can pick anything that you want and eat it. So when we walked in the Airbnb, the first thing that they showed us was the wine, and I got super excited, and there's quite a few that we'll show you, but the ones that I picked are Jamaica, which is hibiscus, passion fruit, and black raspberry. So they said to chill them all, so these are already chilled, and then you have their other ones up here.
So, as Denise mentioned, these are all wines that the actual Airbnb host has made himself, and he sells these. So you have a choice of being able to purchase these wines and enjoy them while you're here. But let's go for a little bit more of a tour. This is the kitchen area, which you have the stove, a few seasonings, and anything else that you need to cook. Small dining area over here. We have the living room, smart TV with Netflix, YouTube, gorgeous bathroom in here, hot water, of course. And then over here is the master bedroom with a king-size bed and all your storage needs. However, the best thing about this Airbnb is this magnificent view of the lake.
The view is absolutely fantastic.
Included with the Airbnb is the actual entire property itself. So you have full access to the grounds, which Denise mentioned earlier. You have access to all of the fruits, the vegetables that are grown here, any of the herbs that are grown here. But there's also a fire pit, there's hammocks, there's swings, there's the tent, there's a grill. There's so many things that you can just do here.
Yeah, and if you're staying long term like we are, there's also a washer and dryer on the premises.
But for now, since we're staying at an Airbnb, we're gonna do a whole lot of cooking. So our Airbnb host, James, he's actually going to take us down into the central area, hit up some of the markets, and we'll go do some shopping. So apparently this is the only guy in town that actually sells fish and seafood. So we're lucky we found him.
Sí, están limpios. Eso es solo quitar las escamas, nada más. Filete de red snapper.
Oh, sí, como red
Snapper. Y también, esos son los camarones.
¿A cuánto están?
Esto estoy...
All right, so I think we finished our shopping now for at least the next few days, or maybe even a week. So we were told that our Airbnb was going to be a little bit of a hike going uphill.
A little bit is an understatement.
But I don't think we expected this.
Totally worth the view though.
We're not done. However, when you get to the top, man, what a view.
So we just got back from our little shopping run in San Pedro. So the first place we went to was Nick's. You go up to the door, it says that it's open, you knock, just walk in, and it's a beautiful store with a lot of American products in there. And this is what we got. So we got some milk and some seasoning. And I went for the Alfredo, which we also haven't had in forever. Some pasta and some fresh bacon. And then we got 2 pounds of frozen chicken wings, some rice, and some tomato paste. So the second place that we went to was an Italian bakery. They also have a restaurant that's connected to it. So we ended up getting some fresh bread. The store was so cool. Like, they sold a lot of cheese, a lot of butter, a lot of charcuterie and different kinds of meats, and a lot of baked goods. We actually had 2 Panajachels, but yeah, it was fantastic. We also got some butter and some cheese. I put it in the fridge already because it's pretty hot. And lastly, we got some super fresh fish. So he's the only fish vendor in San Pedro, and he comes all the way from the coast. We ended up getting 1.5 pounds of red snapper. So this is the red snapper here. And 1 pound of fresh shrimp.
So I had a pretty long nap after shopping. And what's the best thing to do after a nap? Make some coffee and go lay out on the hammock. So, after a very relaxing day, just doing pretty much nothing, I think we're going to continue the theme for the rest of the evening and have a very quiet and relaxed dinner here at the Airbnb.
And we're gonna have some wine.
Then tomorrow we'll head out into town and see what the rest of San Pedro has to offer. So for now, guys, have a good night and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Good night, Voyagers.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So we finally made it into the center. Took a little bit of a walk.
Yeah, and it's a very hot day today.
But we need to get our steps in, and this has been helping us stay on track with that. So we're here in San Pedro. The whole area of Lake Atitlan is basically a volcanic crater. So it's an old volcanic crater. We're in one of the 13 villages around the lake. San Pedro is known as a backpacker's paradise. Yes. You can find rooms here for about 60, 70, 80 quetzales, which is pretty much less than $10 a night. Anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk around town, we're gonna do some exploring, we're gonna get some food, and we're gonna see what else San Pedro has to offer. It's awesome. When you're on the main road, you could actually just turn down towards the lake and have some awesome, beautiful views. So here at the coast of the lake, you can actually just go down, rent some kayaks, rent some paddle boards, or I think they pretty much even charter some of the boats if you want to do a tour around the lake and visit some of the other towns. So one of the other things that San Pedro is absolutely famous for is their Spanish classes. So people actually come here specifically just so that they can learn Spanish. And most of the classes are one-on-one, so you get that real sense of being able to learn instead of being in a class. You get to do it at your own pace. And the prices are extremely cheap, and people buy bundles of classes. So they're taking, 5, 10, 20 different classes in the span of just a couple of days. They're all over the place, and there's a few that are probably a lot more popular and famous than the others, but honestly, it's like every single block that we've been on, we've seen some sort of Spanish-speaking school. So we are walking the main road where all of the nightlife and a lot of the restaurants and a lot of the hostels are right now.
And they call it Gringolandia.
Yes.
Can you imagine why?
So after walking around for half an hour, we decided to stop at La Terraza restaurant and cafe, which has an awesome view of the lake.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So we decided just to have a lemonade.
Yeah, we needed a drink. We needed something to cool down for a little bit and just stop and enjoy the view. So we're gonna probably take a couple of pictures here. But yeah, after we leave here, we're gonna move on and probably look for some food. Guys, how good does this look? Cheers. So if you want some good Israeli food, this street is probably the best place to go.
Yeah.
But we're here for Guatemalan food, so we're gonna look for something else. I'm absolutely obsessed with all of the street art that's all over the place. There's a lot of what looks to be traditional, like Mayan sort of murals, just as well as any type of artwork depicting life.
Yeah, and one thing that I do have to say that I love is that all the murals of the women here, they're all dark skinned. So we found a little restaurant. It's called La Casa del Asado. So we both went with the churrasco, which is grilled meat. So our food is here. So I went with the regular. So you can see that. Yeah. So I just have carne de res. And it comes with the potatoes, some guacamole, rice and beans, and a little bit of dipping sauce. And then for Marco, we ordered the mixta, which comes with chorizo and the steak. So carne de res.
Looks good. Ready to eat.
Yeah, it was actually really good and really cheap. It was 70 quetzales for everything, including 2 Cokes. So 10 USD. It's not bad for lunch.
So all of the local shops over here, they have some amazing fabrics. I absolutely love the patterns that they have here.
Yeah.
Might get some clothes, don't know. But let's take a look. Let's see what they have. So the lady who owned that store, she said 150 quetzales for each piece of clothing, with basically a pair of pants or a shirt, 150 each, which is what, almost 20 bucks. But that's a whole lot. And then we tried to talk her down a little bit, and then she was like, fine, 2 pieces for 200, so 100 each, which was still about $12 each. All right, we have been walking around all day, guys. Time to jump on a tuk-tuk and head back. Anywhere in San Pedro, it's 5 quetzales per person. So do not let them charge you 10 or more than that. right, guys, we made it back to the Airbnb. That was an awesome day. I had an awesome day today. I hope you guys enjoyed that tiny little taste of what San Pedro actually has to offer.
It's a very small town. You can walk the whole thing in, what, maybe like an hour or so-ish?
Yeah, and that's if you walk slow.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful town full of culture. There's so many things for you to do or not to do. Depends what you want to do.
Yeah, amazing food, even more amazing people, and can't forget about those fantastic views. For now, we are going to get into these bad boys like we did yesterday and enjoy that view over there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Another beautiful day here on Lake Atitlan. San Pedro, blue skies.
You can definitely tell we're inching towards the drier season because our first week was pretty wet. And now this week, it's actually quite dry. Like, I think it's rained once this week and it was brief.
Now that the weather is starting to become really, really nice in the day, we're finally gonna get a chance to get on a lancha, which are the little boats that you take from the docks, and they're like ferries that go and travel all to the different villages around Lake Atitlan. And
we're going to Panajachel.
We're heading to Pana, which is the largest village here on the lake.
And it's also great for shopping. Apparently you can do on the lake the best shopping there for like textiles or if you want souvenirs or anything like that.
Yeah, but I'm really excited to get some coffee. Yes. There's a chocolate shop over there that I want to go check out and really just enjoy walking around and seeing what Pana is all about. We made it.
It was such a beautiful ride, guys.
It was about 35 minutes.
Yeah, 35
after all the
minutes.
stops.
It stopped at every town. Usually it's direct, but they say that now there just aren't enough people.
Lunch is served, so I got the barbecue pork chop and Denise got the fried chicken. Let's see how it looks. I had to order the hot chocolate. All right, so we're using those ingredients that you bought. What are we making today?
So we're making kind of like a potato hash and the fish. So we found some blackened seasoning and we're gonna add that to the fish. I would have probably roasted this fish. It's red snapper, but we don't have an oven. So I'm just gonna pan fry it.
Guys, thank you for joining us today. If you liked today's video, please hit that like button below. Leave a comment, let us know what you enjoyed about our journey today. And as always, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to be notified when the next video comes out. Until next time, enjoy the voyage.